Top of the morning to you, and glad to know that you are there waiting for us as we are back once again loaded as usual to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the beautiful world of sport with in-depth analysis and exclusive interview. Buluwaji Ogunla is my name. Of course, this is Dominion Sport on Dominion Television. In case you're joining for the first time, we are located at Dominion Broadcast House, Yagonku, right here in the brand roof, beautiful city of Ibadan. Yes, it's another beautiful day. It's a Tuesday, and it's the morning after another cash rain in Abuja. Tolu Adipolabe is right here with me in the studio, and like he loves to say it, money, now water. And that's exactly what we saw. While some were arguing, oh, the figure is too much. Why would you spend so much on the Falcons? Guess what? The presidency, once again, did it for the Tigress. Now, the honors is on the Chan Eagles to come and do just the same, because they might just be receiving just the same. Toluwani, good morning this morning.
Good morning to you, Buluwaji. Thank you so much for having me in the studio. It's a wonderful morning. And like you said, it's running cash in Abuja, and I think the Super Falcons have set the standard, for how things should be done.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Are we already setting a standard?
Yeah,
it's
for me, it's a standard already because if the Chan Eagles can go ahead also,
another 100 million.
Maybe another 100. Hey. But I think we need to set our focus right.
Economy.
I'm not saying we should not celebrate, our people who are doing great things for the country. But I think there are other factors where we need to put, this money into in sport. Now, I'm never talking about other profession right now. I'm talking sport. We know,
generally,
we sit down here every day to talk about how bad the league in Nigeria in basketball is. I think we should open that structure. So let's pump in money into the right place. Let people that can undo our financial matters.
Not just all this jamboree in Abuja and say we're giving you 100 million. Go to the grassroots and spend the money.
No. Let's put the right people that can handle these things better. And let's grow, our grassroots sport in Nigeria better. Once again, congratulations to the Tigress, and thank you so much for having me once again.
Of course, we'll talk about that. But before that, as usual, let's start from the home front. Well, Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has approved 5 million naira reward for each player and technical crew of Kwara United for winning the 2025 President Federations Cup. Of course, you recall that the Harmony Boys defeated Abakaliki FC 4-3 on penalties in the final of the competition decided last June. It is the first time Kwara United will be winning the oldest football competition in Nigeria. Now, Kwara United will feature in the CAF Confederations Cup next season as part of their reward for winning the President Federation Cup. Governor of the state, the gesture from Governor Abdulrazak, it will obviously serve as a big morale booster for the team as they look to win more silverware in the coming campaign. Now, don't forget, the preliminary draw for the CAF Confederations Cup will hold later on this month, and this should help boost their morale, really.
Actually, for me, like I said, I think I'm sure the man is also looking at what the president of Nigeria is doing.
Okay.
At least. So let me see how I can boost the morale of these players. Going into the CAF Confederation, competition right there, and I'm sure it's going to be a morale booster for them. They'll be motivated to do more, and knowing that the little we have done right now, I gave us this reward. I'm sure if we step up the game, we'll get something better, and also to help our family and friends and the likes of that. So
it's reward everywhere. If you are not doing the right things, you won't get all this reward. I mean, it's there for you to win, and of course, it's there for you to pick up if you do the right things. As you can hear, Abuja. Everywhere is reward left, right, and center. Let's move on the show this beautiful morning. And still talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League, where Barrow Football Clubs, their new technical advisor, don't forget that they are one of the teams that got promoted to the NPFL, and they picked up one of the top experienced coaches in the NPFL, Ladan Bosso. Well, yesterday he conducted his first training session with the team ahead of the kickoff of the NPFL, despite threats from Bayelsa United. Recall that Bayelsa United actually declared Ladan Bosso missing from duty since the commencement of the new season. Bosso, who was already appointed, the coach of Barrow Football Club last month, was officially presented to the players by the president of the club, Shawal Barrow Jubrin. yesterday, and of course he hit the ground running, started training with them. The presentation was also attended by members of the club's management, the board members, the coaching crew, and of course officials of the club. Like we said earlier, they are called the Malia Boys. They will face Enyimba on match day 1 on the 22nd of August at the Sonny Abacha Stadium, their adopted home ground. There you have the controversies in the MPFL, as usual, right?
Yeah.
Coach, you still have a contract with us, move somewhere else. Barca United still believe that is their coach.
It's the coach.
The guy moved on. But then what do you see about Barao Football Club? They're signing.
Honestly, yes.
I mean, that's a major statement, right?
Yes, actually. For me, it's a major statement. I think we also spoke about it yesterday. Having new signings also in the dressing room for them next season. And also,
we've always talked about is more than, and each time we talk about Arsenal, we say it's more than the players.
The players,
The coach itself has to be the right person for the job.
Actually, and right now, yes, and having to bring, Ladan Boso into the system, I think it's going to shape the mindset of the players and also at the club itself, having an experienced man, who have done the job over time. Not only, in the APFL League, I mean, even with national team. Also, I think, and it's a big step for Barao FC. Also looking at what they are doing, also with the management, players coming in, the things they're trying to put in place for the next season.
Major statement.
Yes, a major statement. They understand that the MPFL is not just a league. It's a place where you can also contest and also make a name for yourself, right? And also having to be a major, a new team in the new league. I think this is something that they're ready for, and having this man in the lock, I think they're going to do great things going forward.
All right, quite a lot to talk about on the show this morning, but we need to go on this very quick break, and when we return, we'll go back to the camp of Bayelsa United because they've moved away. They've moved on from Ladan Boso. They are looking at bringing another coach. We'll talk about that after this break.
All right.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Well, I'm glad to know that you are there, and it's still Dominion Sport on Dominion Television. Don't forget, we're on YouTube as Dominion Broadcast. Do subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified each time we come on air. And there you have our social media platforms right there on your screen. Let's come back home and talk about Bayelsa United, where experienced tactician Monday Odige is set to take charge as the technical advisor of MPFL side Bayelsa United. Just like I mentioned earlier, Odige, Bayelsa, they are without a coach, and have also moved on already. And Odige has agreed to coach the Prosperity Boys and is set to replace Ladan Boso, who left the club to join newly promoted side Barao Football Club. Odige has been without a club since resigning from Better Insurance midway through last season. Now, you recall that he guided Better Insurance to victory in the 2023 President Federation Cup and previously served as assistant coach with Enyimba Football Club back in 2014. Well, look at it now, Tolu, and these are clubs making big statements with the coaches. They're signing. Nearly promoted side picked up a top-class coach. Bayelsa United also replacing him with another top-class coach. We just brought it. Shooting Stars. I used we earlier, but then I need to correct myself. Shooting Stars just brought on board a newbie.
A newbie that took a newbie, into, top flight, of football right there. But I can understand that. But I think we just need to allow, Nuruddin Awero do the job, and let's see how far it can go, this season. But also, for Bayelsa United, like you said, top class coach who did something with Benden Insurance right there, in the President Federation Cup, and also, assistant coach with an experienced side. So I think he has the skill mindset mindset of what to bring into the Bayelsa squad for next season in the MPFL.
I mean, the thing is, if you are not ready for this MPFL, I mean, you're out.
Actually, if you're not ready, including the fans too, if you're not ready, because it's going to be entertaining. There's a whole lot to look out for. Explosive. You have Barrow XC, you have Kano Pillars, new management, you have Shooting Stars. So there's so many things you want to entertain your eyes for, to say, okay, and let me see what I can pick my hands and my eyes on this season, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy entertaining football.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Obviously, the season starts on the 22nd of this month, and teams are preparing already, just like we've been talking about. Let's talk about Bendel Insurance, of course, of Edo State, former Nigerian Premier League champions. Bendel Insurance have parted ways with, guess, 25 players from their roster ahead of the 2025-2026 MPFL season. And the club made the announcement yesterday, with standing captain Meyiwa Orisha topping the list of players. Other players on the list include Bernard Voke, not a top player, I must say, Austin Ogunye, Stephen Soje, Uche Collins, Zaidu Ayuba, among others. Bendel Insurance are yet to announce new signings following the mass exodus of all these players. The club will face Academy Warriors in Maiduguri on match day 1 of the new season. Of course, starts on the 22nd of August. Of course, Bendel Insurance finished in an impressive 5th position last season with 56 points after 38 games, despite starting the season poorly. And what do we say at this point, Toluwani? It's a massive exodus. Clear out. Massive. 25.
Come on, honestly speaking, when I
just about 3 weeks to start of the season.
It's I don't understand the system, and it begs the question that most players are not on contract in the MPFL, because if you're on contract, you cannot just clear them like that. It shows that something is not done. Something not done properly.
And that's always been an issue in the Nigerian Premier League, especially at Darling Shooting Stars. And that's one of the things that the newly appointed chairman is looking at correcting. A lot of players just come in and go out. Reportedly on loan, and goes without anything.
Nothing. And I think, our players right now, they need to have a contract in the MPFL. Have a contract, let it be documented properly, so that, you don't just get yourself shipped out, out of the club, 25 players gone already, and we're just 3 weeks into the season, and it begs the question, so which how many players are going to play at the new season? So definitely
bringing players. So it's like 30 players
are coming. So they're just going to pick players from, at the street. You come play for us. You come, and it should not be. You don't run a club.
And at the end of the season,
they ship them out again. So I don't understand. It should not be done, and players should be treated properly also. And I think I think we need to look into these things and put it right going forward.
Absolutely, I think authorities must instruct teams also to give their players solid contracts. Solid contract, because things like this, they're not the best way to market the league, honestly. Because you're working with this player this season, next season,
you're done with the player
out, and it's not as if these players are living abroad, right?
No,
they're
still looking forward to. Come on.
Oh, well, let's talk about grassroots football, youth football this time around. And after match day 1 of the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier Football League Youth League at the Ikene Center, Remo Stars, as expected, are top of the log on goal difference, following a 2-0 win over Kwara United. Remo Stars Stadium is playing host to the southwest zone of the competition, which has of course other MPFL side, which has teams from Ibadan, Akure, Benin, Lagos, and Ilorin. The day's fixture started with Bendel Insurance playing Ikorodu City, with the Lagos side winning 2-1. In the second game, Remo Stars kept a clean sheet to run away 2-0 against the Afonja Warriors from Ilorin. Today's games, of course, came to a close on equal kill as Sunshine Stars and Shooting Stars shared the spoils. 2-0, that game ended. Match day 2 will open today with Remo Stars playing Shooting Stars. That's a big one, right? Ikorodu City taking on Sunshine Stars, Kwara United square up with Bendel Insurance. The Youth League for the players under the age of 19 has been divided into 3 zones. Umuahia will host teams like Rivers United, Akwa United, Enyimba, Heartland Rangers, Lobby Stars, and of course host Abia Warriors. Kano is the host for Katsina United, Niger Tornadoes, Plateau United, Academy Warriors, and Kano Pillars. Of course, the fixtures in the 2 other zones will be held from the 10th to the 14th of August. And of course, on your screen, I will have the results from yesterday very shortly. Nice seeing the young guns going head to head.
Actually, and I'm worried to say on the 19. What I'm looking at is a little bit, I'm trying to wrap my head around the the images of under 19 actually. Honestly speaking, I'm just going to be honest right now. I don't know if it's just we Nigerians that under 19, so I can,
I don't know.
Honestly speaking, so I can represent, Shooting Stars to say I'm under 19, but actually, okay, I'm just going to dedicate there, but I think, like we said yesterday, it's a good one to see how we can grow youth football in Nigeria. We see it happen, in European competitions. Under 19, they have it in, all leagues, even in UEFA competitions, Europa competitions. We see, under 19, under
proper
20,
19, under
proper
19.
Okay, so I think everyone just ended it for me already.
I don't know where he's going with that.
No, actually, you said proper already.
But the news is that the under 19 youth league started yesterday. For the Southern Center in Ikene. But then Insurance lost to Ikorodu City. 2-1 that game ended. But then Mosari if they quieted 2-0. Shooting Stars and 3SC played 2-all. So whatever happens after, I don't know. The image, the strength, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that the football administrator and the billionaire proprietor of Remo Stars, Honorable Kunle Shoname, has said Nigerian clubs can't compete in continental football just yet due to many factors. Let's listen to one of the factors that he raised. Honorable Kunle Shoname, the proprietor of Remo Stars, speaking here.
In Nigeria, for us to compete with those guys, but the money is simply not enough. Remo Stars played asphalt. I mean, these are players that earn maybe 500, 700, maybe maximum 800, something like that here. Okay. You are playing against players that earn $4,000-$5,000 in their own clubs. Most likely, 7 out of 10 times they'll defeat you. On the balance of probability, their chances of defeating you is higher because they have better quality players. The best players in the league now, next season you will not see them again. Those guys will buy. So how do you not compete with them?
Well, that's it's a long interview, actually. I had to call that out to speak about it. That's Abu Aziz, former Nigerian sandball captain, talking there, San Diego captain, talking there. And that was Honorable Kunle Shoname. He's the proprietor of Remo Stars. I mean, that's one club that won the league last season, has been doing pretty well for themselves, has a wonderful complex in Ikene, Ogun State, not even in Abeokuta, in Ikene, Ogun State. And he also owns a club in Portugal as well. But I must say that, and Beyond Limits Academy also doing pretty well. They got promoted to the MPFL last season. They just had to let things slide, come back to the NNL. And that's one man who knows a lot. I mean, his club actually pay the highest players, 800, 900, 1 million for players. But he raised something very important here, Toluwane, saying that how do you expect these players to compete with the big boys on the continent? Don't forget, last time we won anything on the continent was back then, more than 20 years ago, right? More than 25 years ago, we won anything. But ever since, we've not even come close. Honestly, we've not even come close. And there's one very big factor, like, we're facing teams from Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, who are playing their players $3,000, $4,000 US.
Massive.
How do you expect our own players that are struggling financially to compete with us?
And I think, honestly, Honorable, Shoname has just said there's something fantastic, and I think, everybody representing, the MPFL in the big stage right now, they need to look into these things. How do you make these players comfortable? We can understand that the money factor, not there, but they see the way you can still,
manage the
situation and make them understand that, okay, this is what we have, and we promise to still do more. Let's see how we can, be on each other's back going into this competition. Trust me, it's a whole lot aside from the financial, state of things. Also, you look at the technical ability of this player. You look at what they train with. Trust me, I can only, pick 1 or 2, teams in the MPFL that have quality, training pitches, complex, comfortable environment.
And that's one of the reasons we are yet to win win the CHAN competition.
Yes, honestly speaking. So these are the reasons why, and things that like this are not going in the way of our own league in the big stage right there. And it begs the question also to see when you now have, how do you not keep your best players in the league, for such competition? You see them ship out already, and they're not even shipped out to better leagues. They're going into Iran. You see them going into
obscure leagues, but they get paid heavily.
Actually, but they still get paid heavily. So I think there's a whole lot of homework that we need to do. Come back to the drawing board. What do we need to put in place to keep our flag flying in big stages like this? And I think this is a big one. And I hope that maybe 1, 2, 3 of our proprietors like this can come together and put things right going forward. For the league in Nigeria.
Yeah. So you just made a clarion call now to say more proprietors like this should come up. But the question is, look at those who have come in the past. I mean, one way or the other, they are no longer here. How many privately owned clubs do we still have left with the NPFL? True. Look at Van Dresser, right? Yeah. Look at MFM. Look at all of those clubs that came with so much purpose, so much intention, right? What happened to them? Probably frustrated out of the league and can no longer run the whole thing. Well, thank God there's a team like Sporting Lagos, there's a team like Remo Stars here. Yeah. Hopefully they will teach, the other administrators or the government how to run a proper football club. Also encourage others to come on board.
I think honestly speaking, I don't know what Honorable Shoname needs to do again. To encourage everybody in the league. He has done something fantastic, and you even see the national team coming to train in the stadium.
Yes, because we don't have a better facility.
We don't have a better facility.
He has the best.
He has the best facility at this point in time. So I think everybody just needs to wake up to reality. Even if you're not even a private club, a government are running the system, can also we can channel the energy into this.
Yeah, follow suit. I mean, this is a man that owns a club in the Portuguese league, right? He knows how things are done there. He can't run it anyhow in Portugal.
No, you can. You can't.
They will take the club from him, right?
Honestly speaking, and I think he knows what football can do to the economic growth, of the country or a state or for your personal self. And trust me, if you look at it, if government-based clubs can, sit back and relax and look at, okay, how do we structure this to favor the economy for ourselves? Trust me, it's going to be a massive deal. And going into this.
Yes, one thing this man does pretty well is that once it's summer, when it's off season like this, while their players are training, he sends his coaching staff abroad for training. Now, a friend of mine is the sporting director there. Beautiful. And right now, he's in Portugal at this moment, of course, getting trained, getting better, coming back here. How do you that are still here, how will you compete with like that?
So how do you challenge again? So it's just a massive deal. It
is a massive. Let's hope that others will learn from that. And just like we said earlier, this is one of the reasons that we're struggling in the CHAN competition. All right, talking about CHAN competition this beautiful morning, Nigeria and Senegal will meet for the first time in the history of the African Nations Championship, also known as CHAN, as the Super Eagles BT begin their quest for a historic title against the defending champions in Group D opener. Of course, the game will be played at the Aman Stadium in Zanzibar. Well, for Nigeria, it is a long-awaited return to the competition after missing the last 2 editions. And for Senegal, it is the start of a title defense that could cement their name in the history of the competition as the second team to retain the title after Morocco did. Senegal lifted their maiden CHAN crown back in 2022, defeating host Algeria back then in the dramatic penalty shootout after a goalless draw. They now have to arrive. They now arrive at the 8th edition of the tournament, holding in Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, with a 10-match unbeaten record in regulation time against West African opposition in the competition, including 2 notable victories against Ivory Coast and Mauritania in their last title-winning run. Well, that's a whole lot, but most importantly, getting on the pitch of play to play. But first off, we'll have a 3 p.m. Fixture today, right there, Toluwani, before we take on Senegal. Tough battle. Congo, Sudan, and Senegal, Nigeria.
Honestly speaking, okay, so let me just pick from Congo, Sudan. It's also going to be a big game, a good one, another entertaining game right there, for this match day. But I'm expecting, Congo to see this one through, in this Group D, encounter. Also, the big game is going to be Senegal against Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And I know everybody right now, in Nigeria, we're enjoying sports, and from the Super Falcons back to AfroBasket. Right now, we are back again with.
Sorry to cut you there.
Yeah.
I won't ask the CHAN Eagles to go all the way and win this one. If you like, no win. That's it from me. If you like, no win. The girls backed $100 million, $100,000 already. All right. Of course, backed a national award as well and everything. If you like, no win this one.
Of course, continue. No. Honestly speaking, I'm sure they also want to win. And looking at what this money can do.
Yeah.
We're talking generation. These players will enjoy the generational financial benefit.
We're only talking about the $100 million.
No.
Some already picked from their state government.
From state government. So there's so much to enjoy. But I'm sure the players we heard from the player from Remo Stars. Speaking about how this is going to be of big benefit. Not just for the financial benefit, but for himself. Stamp their name, on the record books.
That's how you sell yourself.
Yes, that's how you sell yourself. Also, for big clubs to come in, to sign you also. But I'm sure, this game is going to be a big battle for Nigeria against defending champions. The defending champions, we don't want to slack. They want to put all things right going into this one. But I think Eric Shells has the mindset to see how we can push, the Chan Eagles, get the right players in the first 11 team to see how they can get all the goals. I would advise we get the first goal. See how we can also get more goals. But if we can get 2-3 goals, let's say we can get the first 2 goals and also sit back, defend properly, attack properly, be compact at the team, let the midfield let it work properly, and also your defense. They say the best way to attack is to defend properly. You get the defense right. I'm sure you get all 3 points in the bag in the first game.
Well, one man who is having a sleepless night ahead of this game is our coach Eric Shell. Yes, Super Eagles head coach Eric Shell. He has said that he is expecting a difficult duel, against the holders, Senegal. Nigeria and Senegal will clash later on today. And he said he knows that the Senegalese will be tough, but his boys will be tougher. Let's listen to head coach Eric Shell.
I know this is a game for 2 big countries in Africa, Senegal and Nigeria. They play, they have an history in the football. So they have a lot of good team, a lot of good generation. They play well. So this is the great game. Senegal has a big team. So our preparation for the first game, I think our preparation was good. So now we are ready to play this first game. And we try to put in this game what we worked during 4 weeks.
Our head coach Eric Sheku Shell. Well, the 2 teams are indeed favorites to win this title this time around. Of course, Shell declared both countries will put up a good fight and a good show for the fans. Toluwani, the coach is talking.
Yeah, he's talking.
Of course, we listened to the players already yesterday, today's game.
Yeah,
because
right
this time around, is the coach talking?
Actually, I think even Eric Shells also want to stamp his name in the record books. He knows the job, and I think he also wants to gain, the trust of the fans. Our 4 other competitions for the Super Eagles also are going into the World Cup qualification and also for AFCON right there. And so I know how good Eric Shells can be. We saw what he did with the team right in AFCON, and I'm sure he's ready for this one. And he's talking tough and speaking tough to the players, giving them a right set mentality going into this one. Saying it's a do-or-die battle.
Do you think our boys will be intimidated?
No, I don't see that because this.
I mean, we've not been around for a while. Now we're coming back with facing defending champions.
Actually, and I'm sure I can understand that, but I'm sure Eric Shells has said, we have picked the best players. You are the best players. Look at everybody in the league. Not that we don't have, not that we cannot still pick, but right now we have picked the best players. So you must deliver. You must just deliver for us. And we look at 6-7 players from Remo Stars. You look at other players also from other leagues right there. So I'm sure these players also want to defend themselves. As saying, I think I'm worthy to be picked in this team, and I must give my best no matter what. If I'm coming from the bench, I must give my best. If I'm starting in the game, I must give my best. Whatever support I must give the players in the locker room, we must do that. So everybody must come as a team collectively.
Their family members must call to say, you must win.
Don't disappoint. The money is
winning for us.
Take us out from poverty.
It's a standard already. Take us out of poverty. All right, let's see how things pound out from there. Yeah. From there, let's go to the camp of the victorious WAFCON winning team, where Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedati was gifted Super Falcons defender Oluwatosin Demain 30 million naira and an apartment in Akure as a reward for helping the Super Falcons win the 2024 WAFCON in Morocco. Ayedati hosted Demain at the government house in Akure yesterday. The center back, you remember, played every minute of Super Falcons' 6 games at the WAFCON 2024 finals. Well, she plays in Turkey for Fenerbahce, and you recall that she scored in Nigeria's 5-0 victory in the quarterfinals over the Cooper Queens of Zambia. It was the former Falconet Stars' first ever goal for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. That's why yesterday also hosted the team's media officer, Mary Akinshola, and the secretary of the team, Mary Oduboku, who are also indigents of Ondo State. Akinshola and Oduboku were each gifted 15 million naira each by the state's #1 citizen. And there you have it on your screen during the presentation. With Tosin Demain, of course, handing over a jersey to the governor of the state. And of course, it was a grand reception for the 3 ambassadors of the state. Yeah. Fantastic one from all of the state governors. And on behalf of Baby Conte,
I was about to say
my second favorite player in that team, that's Deborah Abiodun from Oyo State. Governor, host my girl.
Please, actually.
Host my girl.
I think we are seeing it everywhere. You know, the players are even going to their
Imo
church,
State.
you know, to share testimony. You know, now Imo State, now Ondo State. You know, it's so everybody are, you know, celebrating.
It's just one. It's just one we have. Just one.
It's just one we have. Let's celebrate her. But I think one thing I want to speak about also is that I think these players also, I think they now have, you know, the rank to also speak, you know, to the governor. So let them call the governor. Please, I mean, let them sit down with them and say, how can you help us grow grassroots football also in Nigeria?
To give back.
You know, I can understand the money is massive.
I think that's something I'll be talking to Deborah about as well. Probably take up because there's a female league in Oyo State, Ibadan.
Yes.
A female league in Ibadan, and probably have her come sponsor it some of these things. You know, giving back to the people of Oyo State.
But come on, you talk of sponsor, and we are yet to see Deborah Abiodun, you know, in the State House, you know, right there. So I'm sure.
Let's start from there.
Let's start from there. Let's celebrate her. Then once we celebrate her, I'm sure, you know, she want to give back, you know, if she's been celebrated right there. And I think it's one thing to do, and let's just get that, you know, done and dusted with. I think, you know, Deborah should be celebrated right here in Oyo State, and also she can now give back, you know, to the community. But also let every player, even the ladies also in the basketball team, they can also speak. They can also have these things. All the players come together. Let's see how we can grow the football together. I mean, our sport together in Nigeria. Let's have a good name, you know, for ourselves, not just, you know,
because we're
players from European.
I was going to say that because we're all celebrating the girls yesterday, and I'm looking at it and saying to myself,
how many of them?
These girls are based abroad. They developed themselves abroad.
So come on.
I mean, look at is this Sarah now? Yeah. I mean, she came into the camp with her 4-month-old daughter.
Yeah. You mean Ogoke?
Ogoke, right? Sarah Ogoke, right?
I was so breastfeeding.
In the dressing room, and that says a lot about the passion that these players have for Nigeria.
And not that even the passion from the grassroots football is not even more and more intense right there. So I think there's a whole lot of homework that we need to do, you know, going forward.
Since we're already talking about basketball, let's just get into it. Following the triumph at the 2025 FIBA Women's Afro Basket, President Bola Tinubu yesterday honored the Tigress with a reward package that includes $100,000 for each player, $50,000 for every member of the coaching and technical crew, a 3-bedroom flat each, and also conferred on the players and the technical crew the prestigious National Honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger. This was announced by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the presidential reception in their honor at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. Nigeria extended their dominance in African women's basketball on Sunday, defeating Mali 78-64 points in Ivory Coast to win a record 5th consecutive AfroBasket title. A triumph not only cemented their dominance over the continent, but also broke Senegal's 4-in-a-row streak from 1974 to 1981, establishing Nigeria as the first side in history to win the championship 5 times consecutively. The triumphant D Tigers, alongside the officials, were warmly welcomed by First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, supported by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shettima, at the new banquet hall in the presidential villa yesterday at about 5 p.m. Well, there you have it on your screen. The ladies are being welcomed to Abuja, the presidential villa. And as you can see, Musa Kida right there, the president of the NBBF. And then the man of the moment, Malam Shehu Diko. Yes, of course, his latest appointment, and he's having all of the success for himself. Toluani.
Actually, I think for me, it's all jubilation, and also, the system, like you just said, right now enjoying the whole, victory. All right, I think it's a big one, and also a big congratulations to the Tigers. Like I said, I think it's okay to celebrate them, but I think there's a whole lot that we can still do, in developing this sport right there in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, very important one. I mean, one man who is definitely very happy is Malam Shehu Diko, the chairman, National Sport Commission, because only recently, the Ministry of Youth and Sport was converted to just the Ministry of Youth, and then the Sport Ministry was converted to the National Sport Commission, with Malam Shehu Diko, the former Vice President of the NFF, appointed as the chairman, and they've been doing a whole lot of work. And guess what? 2 first international competition, and they won it. Papa. All right, I love that. And they just dusted the whole thing, say, I mean, that's it. And then, Chan Eagles, it's up to you to do the honors.
Actually, I think it's for me right now. All eyes are set right now on the Chan Eagles to see how far they can go in the competition, and I'm sure their mindset is gauged on how far they can also get celebrated right here in Nigeria.
Absolutely, that's it for the girls. So what I said, go on a very quick break, and this break is basically on Victor Osimhen, who has opened up on the role that his daughter, did in convincing him to join Galatasaray. Let's enjoy that. I'll be back.
It was earlier than a lot of people expected. It was not something, of course, that I needed to decide based on a lot of factors. But to be honest, I already associate myself with Gala, with its fans, because my daughter is more inclined to Galatasaray than me, to be honest with you. And I've seen how she has associated herself also with some of our Turkish friends. And every time she speaks about me, she speaks about Chimbombom, and she make the three hits with the song of Gala and everything. So just like I said earlier, apart from the fans with the love, with the passion they have for their club, my daughter also was key, to making this decision much easier for me. And to be honest, all my family love Gala. To be honest, I can see a reason not to be here. That's why I call it home, and I think I will enjoy myself till I'm not needed here, But for me, I like this place. I love this place. I love the people for the love they've shown me, for the confidence they have given me, not just as a player, but also as a man. I think it's one of the reasons why Galatasaray is the best club in Turkey, and of course one of the best club in the world. And I'm happy to be proud of to be part of this club and its family, and I can't wait to continue to give my best for the good of the club. I think it was earlier than a lot of people expected. It was not something, of course, it was something that I needed to decide based on a lot of factors. But to be honest,
Well, there you have it. Victor Osimhen there. He was unveiled, just 2 days ago. I think it was on Sunday here where he was unveiled, and he answered that particular question, because a lot of people have been asking, why Galatasaray?
Yes,
I love the angle where he took us to.
Actually, a different angle, and a Nigerian man would always be smart. I can understand that, but come on, I think it's more for the love of
Gala.
for Gala actually, and what the fans actually did to him. They supported him, they gave him so much to ride on loan, and he delivered, and I'm sure they wanted more from him, and the major reasons why he also came back to the club. And also, if he's saying because of his daughter, fine, fantastic, to have that. We have players, who have said, my family enjoying the environment. We'll go back to the likes of Angel Di Maria. He was frustrated out of, England, saying his family were not comfortable again. Manchester did not treat him right out of that. But if Victor Osimhen can say, come on, his family enjoys, the Turkish side, and also his daughter also is loving the environment. Why not? It's for the family. That's why you're doing this. That's why you're loving the game. Right? That's why you're working also. So come on, I think it's a big one for Victor Osimhen, and we hope to see him triumph better, than what he did last season.
All right, you call that Osimhen spent last season on loan at the Rams Park. That's the home ground of Galatasaray, and endeared himself to the fans with his energetic performances and commitment to the club. Galatasaray's board pushed to sign him permanently after he scored 37 goals and provided 8 assists, helping the club win the league and the cup double. The Turkish champions faced competition from the Saudi Emirates, especially Al Hilal. But the Super Eagles Falls decision favored them over the lucrative deal from Saudi Arabia. Galatasaray presented their new signing Victor Osimhen and Leroy Sané to the fans ahead of their pre-season match against Lazio, on Saturday, which they eventually won 2-2. The Nigerian forward, of course, spoke there, and you saw that interview there. And of course, Victor Osimhen, live here, things will be different this time around. All right, things will be different this time around because initially it was loan, and now it's permanent. It's permanent. And what more should they expect from Victor?
For me, I think what they can expect is to bring in more goals, be creative with the team. And right now, also, I think with the assistance of Leroy Sané, I'm sure more goals will come in because you know what Leroy Sané can do with the assist, the curve balls into the back, and how Victor Osimhen is good in the air with both his head, with both his feet, everything he can give to the game of football right there. So expecting more 37 goals, I'm sure he wants to surpass that, in all competition. And I'm sure the mindset, for Galatasaray is not just the league right now; it's the Champions League. And I'm sure having these players in the locker for them come next season in Champions League is what can provide the goals. If Osimhen, stays fit, he also needs to stay fit, mentally, physically, going into the season. And I'm sure he has so much to offer, Galatasaray right there.
Absolutely, he has so much to offer, and of course, fans will be counting on him. All right, moving on this beautiful morning, still talking about Nigerian players and transfers. Well, Atlanta CEO Luka Pakase has addressed the ongoing transfer saga around Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman. Rumors of Lookman's potential move to Inter Milan have dominated headlines in recent days. Now, of course, the club is yet to reach an agreement with the Nerazzurris. Now, speaking yesterday, Pakase shed light on discussions held with the Nigerian, and I quote, "They promised to sell him for 2 reasons. We promised to sell him for 2 reasons last season. That he joins a big club and that he is never seen in another jersey in Italy." Okay. That's the problem. Because remember that the story we shared yesterday was that they agreed that I would leave at some point, this and that, and that now they're saying no. And guess what? Lookman failed to show up for training yesterday.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick up from the write-up of Lookman saying that, we sat down to have an agreement. So what was the agreement that you had is the question. So,
according to Victor, according to Ademola, which he posted on Sunday, and we shared here yesterday, was that once a good deal comes, you allow me leave.
True, but also there's a statement saying that we sat down to have an agreement. So the question is, what exactly was the agreement that you guys sat down to have? Right now, Pakase said, the agreement is we'll sell you to a big club. Fine, the big club Inter Milan. Right now, there's a clause again saying we cannot sell you to an Italian club also, which I don't understand honestly, it's sad, but we can understand that because honestly speaking, as of yesterday, I was speaking, with David of Sport, and we're actually analyzing it yesterday, and he said that one of the major reasons would also be that the problem would be having to sell him to another club, even without seeing a statement coming, from Bakassi as of today.
They will always have
issues with that because how do we sell you? How do we sell you to our rival club, knowing how good you are and what you delivered to us last season?
But why is that a problem for Italian clubs? Because look at Premier League.
Yeah.
Chelsea will freely give Arsenal.
No, it's free gift.
Don't worry, no go
work. It's free gift. Also, if you look at the at the Osimhen
exactly.
Also,
it was in a clause.
You can't.
Next 2 years,
you cannot sell him to any Italian club. So I don't know why they have that in their mindset. But I think Ademola also needs to just calm down. Let's see how we can resolve this issue. Because trust me,
honestly speaking,
if Ademola drags this issue beyond this limit, they are going to frustrate him out, and Ademola might not find the club until the next transfer window.
Well, it's a big issue now. Now, the club is trying to protect its own territory.
Yeah.
To say, we don't want you to be used against us.
Yes, true.
We don't want to sell it to Inter Milan, despite the fact that the money is good. We don't want to sell it to Inter Milan. We don't want use banking goals against us and all that. But the truth is, you've cashed in on him.
Yeah.
Collected the money. Let him go. Because at the end of the day, this player's career is at stake.
Actually,
he needs to move on with his life.
He needs to move on with his life.
And that's why he keeps saying, like, I need to go.
I just need to go.
We've agreed.
Actually. And
the club is here.
The club is saying, hell no.
Honestly, for me, I think Atlanta are just being selfish.
Honestly selfish, because for a player who has, are giving you what you've never achieved before in your life, single-handedly, an hat-trick right there in an European final.
I felt after that season, I felt they should tell him, I see you've done well for us. You can go to
actually, and
I think it was then that they signed that deal to say okay, when the big club will sell you. But the old Inter Milan team, not to sell to an Italian club, it doesn't work for me.
Honestly, it's really disheartening, and I think also for right now for African players, I think they need to have a good lawyer and management handling their deals at this point in time. Because sorry, before we go, Ademola Lookman also, I think he just need to set the house right and know what he needs to do going forward. Because trust me, these Italian clubs are ready to frustrate African players out of the system.
They're always like that, honestly. That's something we need to know. Well, if it's not in Inter Milan, maybe a bigger club will come someday,
maybe Chelsea.
Very soon. Now that everyone knows what is happening now,
true.
Other clubs will come and say, okay, maybe we have a stand a chance.
Actually, maybe we'll stand a chance.
And of course, pay something in the region of what Inter Milan is offering, and have him leave. Because one thing I want about him, for him to just enjoy his football. He's a very cool, calm, and collected player who deserves nothing but the best. And we just hope that he gets the right deal for himself and move. But the news is that he failed to show up for training yesterday. He submitted a transfer request. Get me out of this club. Let me move on with my career. And from there, we'll see what happens. So, it's been a lot of discussions on transfer gossip here and there. Here we go. Which one is really working for you at this moment? Any here we go for you at this moment?
Actually.
That you would love to talk about, because honestly, the whole here we go thing, if it's not confirmed, I don't like talking about it.
True. Actually, if it's not confirmed, honestly speaking, I think it's not best to act the mini Fabrizio. But I think he's just here. We just give you the very best of all updates. But for me, I think Alexander Isak and also Benjamin Sesko will need to come to mind. Remember, Newcastle also just dropped the bid for him, and Manchester United are feeling Manchester saying, come on, once he agrees that he wants to join us, we'll drop a bid. Interesting, man,
But honestly, for Man United, they need such a big sign.
Actually, yes.
Such a big sign. They should go all the way.
All the way to sign that, right. And also Alexander Isak, I think he just needs to settle the house. Eddie Howe also spoke yesterday about the situation right there. So I think these players, they just need to, understand what they're doing and let them sort it out before it's too later. Because the season just upon us. Between next week, the season is kicked off.
Because the weekend is the Community Shield.
The Community Shield, actually. We have
the league is upon us, guys.
It is.
Are you ready? We are ready right here. All right, that's the size of the show this beautiful morning. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much, Oluwani.
Thanks so much
for being part of the show as usual. Bigger thanks to the entire production crew. Don't forget to always join us on YouTube and, of course, on our website as well. Dominion, www.dominion.org.ng. Of course, check out the live session to enjoy our programs programs on TV and, of course, on YouTube as well. Do subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and enjoy all of our programs. Do share, do comment as well. And, of course, we promise to always bring you nothing but the best. Now, the best is yet to come. I mean, you have to know that for a fact it's yet to come, because we'll continue to get better and get bigger right here. We'll be leaving you with highlights of matches played yesterday in the African